All right. We live at five. Live at five. Hope everybody's doing well. As you can see, the little thing there. Comment. Tell us where you're from. We'll get started. We got a few questions we're going to go through, and we'll talk about what's happened this week and what's going to be happening in the upcoming week. Let me check out a few things here. Let me just check, see how we're looking on the. Someone give me in the comments thumbs up if sound and all appears to be good. Probably is. I just want to pull up and look at myself. Let's see. Check the live. Let's see if it's good. Just look at it for a second. It looks a little grainy, but that's about normal. Hopefully the sound's good. Give me thumbs up, y'all, or someone mentioned that it's good. We don't want to be doing a full live stream to find out something's wrong. All right, let's come on back here. We're going to leave that up there for a second. We'll jump into it here. Find my notes. Show notes. Got that. All right, question of the week. And this was from last week. I'm carrying this over until we figure this out. We're going to do a t-shirt giveaway on it once I determine which one it is. But what can we call the live streams at 7? So for those that missed last week, when we do the live streams, when we're out on the Great Loop, and instead of doing them at 5, because those will be done during the week, we're going to do them at 7. And I'm trying to come up with a name like live at 5, but something that rhymes with 7. So for instance, Tommy said last week, heaven at 7, or I added to a little bit, loop live, heaven at 7. But you see what I'm working with there. So put in the comments. Doesn't have to be right now, because you can come back to this later also and mention what do you think would be a good name for a live at 7. So we got live at 5. I don't think live at 7. I don't really like that. So that's the first question we're going to have. And let me open the comments. See what we got going here. What's happening, guys? Good to see y'all. Kalamazoo, Australia, Sydney. All right. Punta Gorda here in Florida. Well, you know how hot it is. We're going to talk about it a little bit. Looking sounds good. Great. Good to hear. Tony, what's happening? Ryan. All right. Hayden. Chilling that. Kind of liking that, Ryan. Chilling at 7. Let's see. Chilling at 7. That sounds pretty good. Yep. Lucky 7, maybe. 7 o'clock talk. Hey, Chuck, doing good, buddy. Doing good. Y'all sorry to be looking off camera. When I get set up I'm working on a studio. When I get set up in there, I should have I got monitors in front of me as well. So that'll be cool when I get that. But as of now, I'm looking at the monitor off screen, and I know that's not the best of ideas. Let's see. Sipping at 7, Hayden said. I hear you. Good times at 7. Hey, I like that one. I like that. And actually, what we'll do is we'll run a list too. Whenever I do a poll on that, we'll get the input. We'll put up all the runners up, and we'll see what it is. Because this is definitely a community channel, and by the time those that are, first of all, it brings up a point. If you're new to the channel, hit that like button, and then most importantly, hit the subscribe button. People are watching along because I'm working on doing the Great Loop. I start back this coming April. I'm working on a project boat now, and if you want to come along, you need to be subscribed to the channel. Hit the bell notification, because there will be giveaways and some bigger ones coming up soon. But there'll be giveaways, and you need to know when we go live. So maybe hit that bell notification as well. I notice this is bouncing. So let's see. Yeah, those are some good comments already. But we'll keep moving along here, and we'll come back. Let me just check one thing. Let's see. I'm gonna put this one up and take this one down. Okay. That's the first banner. Let's see. If you're new to the channel, we are doing live at fives on Sundays for now. This kind of goes along with what I just said. So the setup will be once we get underway, we'll do a certain amount of live at fives during the week, but always Sunday will be my live at five wrap up, and because most people are off on Sundays, so you'll get to see what we've done. And with this new program I'm working with, I'll be able to show you short video clips of stuff that happened, and it'll kind of be a weekly program that kind of brings you up the loop if you didn't get to watch. For those of you who are new to the channel, last 2 years ago when I was underway on the loop, I would stream large portions of what we were doing. And that's going to be better for this year, as a lot of people on the channel said. We were one about the first ones to be streaming live during the loop. But back then I was streaming off of the cell phone. So now I got Starlink, and that's going to be on top of the boat. So hopefully I should have internet where I can stream like all the time while I'm underway. Now, I know you ain't got time to sit and watch that, but as some people said, they'd have it playing in the background on their phone, and then if they heard something happening, they might stop and look. But that way it kind of brings you along. If you're a person who's interested in doing the loop, you can kind of get a good idea of what you're dealing with. So that is something that's pretty cool that'll be coming. But so these live at fives will be all the time. And then we're going to do whatever we're going to call the seven, probably a couple times a week or something like that. But we'll work all those details out. So yesterday I was down in Miami picking up something for good times, something big, and I can't give it away right now. You'll know it when you know it. You'll know it when you see the video. You'll know what it is. There's no question about it. That's exciting. What I got coming is going to be fun. You'll see what I'm talking about, but I can't really. I'm just teasing it up. I spent all day yesterday going down to get it and coming back. So that's going to be pretty fun. But let's see. Let's show this one. Let's see. Okay. So last week I uploaded a video on working on outboards. I got some questions that I'm going to go through in just a minute. I'm going to show you. So on this channel, I love the feedback that we get in the comments, and I show you things because you'll see going forward that I'll show comments that people made that might not be exactly what I said, but if it's the right thing, that's what we want to put out on the channel because it may help you, in your endeavors and what you're doing. So I got a few comments that I'm going to show very similar to that here in a little bit, and then we'll go through them. So any comments, y'all know I read all the comments and respond to most. So if you have a question or something, put it in there, and we'll try to get to it. I can't do it always on the lives because it ends up running too long. Try to keep these at 30 minutes, but in generally speaking, we're going to respond to them, and then you'll see you might end up here on one of the lives. Let's see. I got, for those that missed the video, I got in my Garmin 94 SV. This is the main chart and plotter for the boat. It's pretty expensive, but I had the 93 last time. This is a step up from that Garmin, but I'll go through the full video, the install video on that. So for those that are interested, there'll obviously be a video coming. So I got that, and I needed to get it for other reasons that you'll see as we go forward. So that's one of the expensive things. Let's see, run the third banner. Yeah, this is telling you can comment now or later when the stream replays, as it will. All right. All right, let's look at this. I'm going to share my screen. Didn't know. Let me see if I can pull this up. Here we go. All right, why is it showing? Let's see. All right. Give me just a second here. I had this figured out a second ago. I'm not seeing it. So this is the new. Let me take it off there and then I'll bring it back. Maybe that's what the problem is. I'm gonna reshare this. I don't know if something happened to it. See if we can figure out what it was. Okay. Yep, here we go. It's not the screen I wanted to show. Get it again. All right, let's see. There we go. We got it. So I got hacked or something happened on my last MichaelJSteen.com. So I had to put up a whole new website. Y'all, I don't know if some of you seen it. About a week ago, I put up something. Might have been on Facebook about an article that I had posted on there, and then the site went down. I'm talking about it was just jacked up. So I decided to start over, blow it up, redo another site, and that's what I've done. And I'm just going to kind of show you what you got. There's going to be a lot more information going forward on MichaelJSteen.com, so that if anything was to ever happen to YouTube, you could keep up with what I'm doing. And this is obviously looks a little bit like the YouTube channel and articles that are on here, but you can go down through there, go take a look at it, MichaelJSteen.com, and it won't be long and you'll be able to join the page so that you see things that not everybody sees. All right, so but what I wanted to bring to you here, I'm gonna go to Captain's blog, and we're going to talk about this in a week or two. On Sunday, we're going to have a co-host who I get a lot of questions about the loop and stuff like that. And here is a great article that I put up, and it's called The Mini Loops. And I don't know if you know it, but there's about 4 mini loops up and down the East Coast that you can, try before maybe you do the whole loop, the Great Loop. And this one here showing is called the Carolina Loop. And I've done this before as well. But then you can come on down. You got the Florida Loop, Triangle Loop. So there's 4 different loops here that we're going to talk about in depth that one of you might want to, let me go back down 2, 3, 4. And the Down East Loop. I've not done that one. That's up into Canada. Some of you guys up north, I don't really, I haven't done really any part of this yet. Although in this coming season, I will do this section in here. Oh, let me scan up. You can't see that. In the coming year, I will do this section here in April. We'll be up through here. But if you want to go in and do some pre-reading, if you're one that's thinking about doing the loop, go in there, MichaelJSteen.com, take a look at that. And when we have this person who's going to be on the live stream, let me move this. When we have the person that's going to be on the live stream, he's going to ask probably a lot of questions y'all have. And that's what I'm kind of doing, trying to kill 2 birds with 1 stone, so to speak. So let me see. Let me look at some comments here real quick. Captain Mike talk at 7. All right, sundowners at 7. So it should be daylight. You know, it's going to be in the summer, obviously, the summer months. So we shouldn't have a problem. Yeah, it should be daylight. Somebody says good video there on the car video. That was cool. Yeah. So that brings up another point. So I am looking into, and I don't know if anybody has an ultrasonic cleaner, and do you have any experience with them? But I've already starting to do my research because, first of all, someone made a comment. I'm not sure if I got it tagged in here or not about buying these cheap, which is what I did. It's a $37 carburetor. And I got to tell you, I've had good success with it, but I understand the point. But the other carburetors run about $150 for the same carburetor. I mean, other than these are probably made in China. So I started looking at, and I'm thinking about these ultrasonic cleaners for as many carburetors and stuff that I deal with, but also for good content for the channel, but also for stuff like any stainless steel parts that you want to clean up or any part. This ultrasonic cleaner may be an excellent thing to buy, and then I would keep it here at the shop. So that's coming. I'm 99% sure I'm going to buy it. I'm just trying to figure out size wise. The ones that are very reasonable, entry level, they don't quite look like they would put or take a full size carburetor like what's on the engines that I have. But so we'll see. But that's going to be pretty cool. I'll do a whole set of videos about it. Any recommendations, you know, what you should get or shouldn't get. But if you're doing a full boat build, and I hadn't really seen anybody talk about it, what got me thinking about this was I was watching a video about a guy. He was in a garage, and he was showing how he had cleaned tools and all these parts for the motorcycle. And then I got to thinking, shoot, all these stainless steel parts, like I have a lot from other boats that I've had. I robbed them off and kept them. They're perfect. They're in perfect condition, but they could stand to be cleaned up. So the savings of, and then making something look new was another thing, another angle that I said, because these machines start at $100 and go up from there. But I'm thinking about that $150, $200 one. So we'll do some more on that, and we'll see. And you'll get to see the videos, and we'll see how that works. But let's see. Hey, Jules, what's happening? Let's see. So Jules said, are we going to plan stops? Absolutely. So tentatively, of course, I start in April, and such as Jules, we've met already here in Florida, and we'll meet again up there, I think, Michigan. But certainly as we get underway, if you live near there by the water, I'm going to be putting out as I did on the last loop, like basically where I'm at and where I plan on stopping. But I got a lot of cool ideas around that. But once we get underway, and it happened last year, I'll be putting out my email. It's on my website. You can contact me at any time, mike@michaeljsteen.com. But I will be asking for places to stop, what to see, what not to miss. And so I absolutely be stopping. No, I don't want to power through the loop. Not yet. I won't say more about that. But so right now, I start back a course in Chesapeake, Virginia, April 1st. And I'm going to spend at least 2 to 3 weeks there in Chesapeake Bay. I know it's a really cool area, and I want to spend some time there going through there. But pretty much New Jersey, I kind of plan to power past. That's probably the only section that I've been through. It's kind of expensive. I don't really like it. Sorry, anybody who lives in New Jersey, but I'm probably going to power mostly through there. Not to say I won't stop, but generally speaking. And then when you come up there, Just when you come inside New York, there's a couple places that friends have told me to stop in and see. I do want to spend a little bit of time there in New York. I haven't been to New York other than I've been through it on the water before. But this time I do want to stop Statue of Liberty, take in a few of the sites, 9/11 or Ground Zero. I want to go and see. So there, and then whatever happens going up the river there. But then when I get into the Erie Canal, heading toward the Great Lakes, I know there's a lot of cool little towns. So if you live up near that, I'll be definitely stopping, going through there. But no, I look very forward to stopping. And my general cruise schedule will be Monday through Friday, weather driven, and chilling on Saturday and Sunday like y'all do on the weekends, but majorly because I don't want to be underway when there's a lot of, let's call them weekend warriors out there. So I want to be tied up. That's kind of my days off. So I can do my live at 5s on Sundays, prepare videos that I'm putting up. So that's kind of what I'm looking at as my schedule. It's going to be a blast. But yeah, I absolutely want to meet people, meet y'all there on the loop. If you happen to be anywhere near it, if I get a lot of comments from a certain area, we'll do a meetup. But absolutely, that's the fun part of the loop. I don't want to blow through it for sure. Am I finishing the loop next year? God willing, if all goes well. And I'll tell you, because summer 24 is to finish the loop. And I got something bigger than that on summer 25. I can't let it out yet for multiple reasons. But summer 25 is going to be even bigger. But so yes, I need to finish the loop summer of 24. But what you got to remember is where I'm going to start. I'm halfway up the East Coast, right? And I start in April. So by the end of April, I should already be up to the Erie Canal pretty much, or close to it. And then a month or so going through there, maybe 2 months to make it to Chicago, where it's the last Great Lake coming out, going into the rivers system, where you'll start south. And even if it was to start getting cool, if I'm there, when I start running south, a few days worth of running south makes the temperatures a lot better. Of course, when you pop out down, near Florida, it's nice and warm. So unless we have major boat problems, it's got to be major. I'm completing the loop next year. I have to, for these things that I've got planned. And remember, so this boat's trailerable. So I trailer the boat all the way up to Chesapeake. I got family right there in Elizabeth City, North Carolina. I leave my truck and trailer there and take off. And then if anything happens, all I got to do is get my truck and trailer to me, and we'll deal with whatever the problem. That's why I'm kind of excited about this boat, is I can pull it in or out if I need to fix it or do whatever I need. So yeah, we're going to finish the loop. God willing, we're going to finish the loop this year. All right, Chuck. Yeah, make sure, bro, that you reach out to me when we get close. Absolutely. I definitely want to have friends on the loop, obviously. And some sections, those that are new to the channel, you don't know, those have been around a while, have seen. I still will bring my fuel tanks or gas cans, and I'll like to have fuel buddies along the way, like meet up with people to go get fuel. A, it saves a ton of money. B, it gives me an opportunity to meet with people. And that brings me back to another thing. Now, I haven't said this yet, and I've just started working on it. As a matter of fact, I got to go back and work on a couple of sections from like what I've done already. But another thing that I plan on doing next year is so that when we get finished, we'll have a Great Loop cookbook. So imagine a Great Loop cookbook that from at least every state, and could be multiple. And what my idea about that is, I meet people, maybe go to their house or wherever they come to the boat, and we cook a traditional meal from that area. Or just somebody that maybe you call me and we talk about, you say, man, my grandmother's, I got the recipe for whatever. and whatever is going to end up making it into that cookbook. But you can imagine the cover, the Great Loop, and from each area there will be, recipes. I think that'll be very cool and it's kind of like documenting another way to document. So remember that if it's barbecue, whatever a person's specialty is, as I call them, their superpower. And y'all know from last year, excuse me, my nose is itching. Y'all know from last year, I call it people's superpower. Everybody's got something that they're good at. So reach out to me, when we get underway, and, usually email mike@michaeljsteen.com. And, if you got something cool, I'd love to meet up with you and get it on the screen. That's going to be the best part of the trip. It ain't just me riding in the boat looking at me all day. So I want to share what America has to offer on the loop. So that's going to be awesome. So, Dark Horse, that is coming too, brother, but not yet. Coast Guard Festival in July, Grand Haven, Michigan. So someone sent me a picture the other day of a festival. The problem was, I think it was in Michigan, I believe. I can't think right now exactly where it was, but I believe it was a huge boat festival. Huge. He sent me the picture. But I think the problem was the timing. Because remember, if I start in April, and I ain't saying I can't work it out, because when we get underway under this michaeljsteen.com right here, let me bring this back up for those that have not seen it. You see this captain's blog. Each day I'm going to talk about our articles and places that we're being. But when we get underway up here is going to be a new tab of or probably under the captain's blog, an ongoing, just like this down here. Let's see. Where'd that go? Wait a minute, down here. It's actually what's upcoming. So I probably will just have to have a whole new tab for that. But where I'm planning to be to kind of help y'all see, and of course, if you're following along, you can kind of see how we're moving. But when I get underway, if we did 50 to 100 miles a day, that's enough. You don't have to be flying. Some days you got to do a little bit more, whatever. But so, yeah, because we want to be able to stop. But you'll see my schedule. You'll be able to see where we're at and what we're doing. So it'll be a lot of fun. East side of Lake Michigan. Okay, Jules. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. That's what it was. The problem was the timing. I was kind of looking at the timing, and it was looking like it could have been a challenge. Jonathan, okay, you got a brother in Elizabeth City. My aunt lives there. I was up there not long ago visiting with her, but I'm actually going to keep my trailer probably there. Either there at my cousin's house in Virginia, one or the other. Okay. Hey, Axel, that's a good question, and you'll see that coming up in some future episodes on Live at 5, because I got a few projects, and will be something that we'll use the Live at 5, that I have ideas of how I'm going to do things, right? So Axel asked, what is your plan for a head shower? So when I bought this boat, this is a weekender. It's not a cruiser. So I'm turning it into a cruiser, and you'll see what my plan is. But my plan right now is I looked at the head and I said, maybe I could put a wet head in there. And I studied it. And I was like, man, that's just going to be too much problem. So I decided against that, which I think was the right call, because I also put at the time I didn't know, I put my electric panel in there, which it could be closed in. But so right now I'm thinking on the aft deck. And you'll see in the back, there's a little compartment that has a wash down anyways, right? So what I'm thinking about is putting the shower head from there, which is already there, but a newer one. And because I'll have the hard top built, let me take it off of here. Because I'll have the hard top built over the top, I'm thinking I seen one boat like this. He had a shower curtain where if he was in a place where, you know, you didn't want to get naked or was worried about being seen, you could use a shower curtain. But here's why I put a lot of thought into this, and y'all can give me a lot of feedback on it, is generally if you're at a place where you can't shower outside, let's say, is if you're at a place where you can't shower, that's probably going to be a marina. Well, guess what? They probably got showers. So you would use their shower. But when I stay on the hook a lot, you can't, no one's around. You can't see me. I wouldn't even put the shower curtain up. But if someone else was on the boat, you know, they might not want to see my white honey. So, you know, I might have to put the shower curtain up. But so I'm thinking of something just like that. Also, I've also thought about just some roll-up curtains from, you know, that would roll up the side, the backs, the two sides, the back, and one that drops down, something like that. That may work because I can tell you, man, sometimes when it's hot during the hot part of the, you know, like August or September, especially down here, sometimes you can be traveling, let's say in a canal, and the sun's in your face or it's behind you. It's late in the day and it's done got down under your top. I can remember having to put my top down to try, because that sun will bake you. So I am thinking about some curtains or something. So maybe that would work. But long story short, the answer to your question is I'm 99.9% sure it's going to go on the aft deck. And the reason also is on the aft deck, the water, there's a scupper hole and it just runs right out. You don't have to worry about the drains and all that stuff. All right. So this boat does not have a hot water heater, which I will add. And I've got it all worked out. And you'll see it in the build. But that's coming up. Well, Joel said, just jump in the lake. That's 100%. If I'm in fresh water, that's me. I'm jumping in the water. I ain't even going to pull the shower. I don't know. I might, you know, as easy as it will be to do it. But if you're on a riverbank somewhere, you know, and there's, like, I just can envision maybe you're in the Erie Canal and you got close quarters and you had a little town dock. You know, there's lots of free docks. And there's not a marina there, but you need to take a shower. You know, maybe you drop the curtains and you shower. But I can tell you, I remember many a times rinsing off. On good times, I had just a cold water wash down, but it was fresh water. On the back, I didn't have hot water, but I can tell you, I don't know how many times I got naked and rinsed off back there just so I wouldn't wet anything on the inside. And it works. And I have not seen it on any of the Bayliners, so I'm sure it'll be kind of new. But so anyways, that's a good question. But let me check a couple things here. Website. Okay. Yeah, because we're going to wrap it up here real quick. And remember, even if we don't get all your questions, when it goes on the replay, you can put questions in there as well. I can see both, but I generally follow these in the chat, but I can go back and look at them. So if you're seeing this after it goes back, leave your answers to any of the questions I asked, and I'll check it. Schedule for this week is to finish the engine removal system and maybe start pulling the engines. So I can tell you, I said last week, I haven't shot a lot of video outside because it has just been god awfully hot. I'm talking, you know, we've had the mid 90s with, you know, 80 to 100% humidity, and you just can't work in the boat when it's like that. It's too hot. That couple of days I had, y'all see me putting up, whenever I was putting up my system, is because it rained that day and it was like in the 80s. So I jumped out there and got on it, but it went back to hot again. And that's what we're going to have in Florida. That's how Florida weather is. We'll get a little cool front and push down for 3 or 4 days. And I say cool front, just takes it into the 80s, not cool. and then it'll go back into 90s again for a few days. But as we get closer and closer to October, we'll get into some regular good working days. But this week, I feel very sure with looking at the weather that I'm going to finish. So if y'all remember, I got the 2x10s on each side of those posts. Well, now I'm going to fill them in with 2x10s. And that might, if I get that done, I'm going to have a little video from an engineer who will run the calculations and say how much that system will hold. And the reason I want to do that is if anybody's mimicking the system, he's going to tell us a number, a weight that should hold. And he's a certified engineer. And then maybe if you got any projects you want to reach out to him, you can. So that is the schedule for this week. And Renee, thank you there. Thank you. Appreciate that. Let's see. What is the cruising speed of your boat? Jose, that's a good question. I don't know yet. I hope it's going to cruise easy at 25. It's got a 305 in it, but I'm upgrading to a 350. So they all cruise from all my reading 20 to 25. This boat's new to me, so I don't know yet, but 25 is plenty good. If you get 25, you can do 4 hours and cover 100 miles. That's great. Let's see, Renee, good to hear from you. Continue in the loop. Have a good time. Kind regards. Thank you so much. From Finland. Yeah, what time is it in Finland? I think it must be dark, or not sure what the time is there. But thank you for that chat. Yeah, we're going to get this baby underway. I tell people, I talk about the loop every day, almost all day. I was at church today telling people about the loop stuff I'm doing. So all day Saturday, as I'm coming in late, I spent all day yesterday picking up something. Can't tell you yet. It'll spoil the surprise. But spent all day going down to Miami to get it. And so I'm excited, boy. I tell you, I can't wait to get back out there. This is the longest I've gone without a boat. So I got to get this thing done so I can get on out there. But all right, guys, we're going to wrap it up. That's pretty much everything that we needed to cover. Listen, I want to tell you, I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all hanging around. And I got a lot of things. I just can't talk about them until we get them a little bit closer. What I'm excited about. And also, I said this a little bit, and I've been working on it, but it's going to be another thing. I'll seek your advice on naming it. But y'all remember we talked about creating that Facebook thing. But since I've done my website, it might end up on there, where basically I think right now it's Friends of the Loop, Friends of the Great Loop. And the ideal behind it is in this community is we bring people up. And let's say you are deciding or you're thinking about doing the Great Loop. Well, if you don't have a YouTube channel, it's kind of hard to reach people. But if you were part of the Friends of the Loop and people knew where you were, what you were doing, and you needed help, then I would just love to see a system where the Great Loop is covered with people that want to be a part of it. Because if you give now, it's going to come back to you in time. I can assure you that. So helping out somebody, maybe it's a fuel buddy, maybe it's meeting up with them, maybe they're having trouble and they need help running for parts or something like that. But that is coming. I just got to figure out what is the best mechanism. I know, for instance, Jules is not on Facebook. So that, Jules, that was one of the reasons I was thinking about my website. I just it does have the ability to have chat in it, and where people can go in and post more kind of like Facebook, but it'll only be for people that are in the group. It'll be free. I won't charge for it, but just so you don't get spammed, you'll have to sign in and go check it, whenever you want to see it. But anyways, we'll talk more about that as I build on it. But that's going to be a great addition to the loop. So let me, the loop group. Hey, like it, Bruce. The loop group. I like it. That's cool. That's really cool. See, not a lot of people did like what we did with the fuel tanks. because you save a ton of money doing that. But it takes, not everybody has a truck, and friends to help them move the truck. But I'm not doing that this year. I'm kind of doing it the old fashioned way and just running on my own. So, but anyways, that brings up that just makes for more fun. So guys, I appreciate y'all coming. It's good seeing you. I'll see you next week live at 5 every Sunday until it stops. Y'all have a good week. See you then.